I think the ACC is heading downhill. The competition's whack. It's terrible. It's one of the worst Power 5 conferences in the country now. And the Big Ten and SEC are not slowing down. If anything, they're just going to get bigger and better. Happy Monday. Hope all of you are having a great start to your week. You got to dominate on Mondays because when you dominate on Monday, you get ahead of the competition and it makes the rest of the week that much easier. Life is a video game. It's player versus player. You want that big house? I want that big house. Somebody else wants that hot girl. You want that hot chick. Somebody wants a fast car. Somebody else wants that fast car even more. And for that reason alone, that's why you got to dominate. That's where I like to use a lot. You got to dominate on Mondays so you can get ahead of everybody else. Now, getting motivational Matt out the way, we got to talk about some breaking news and yet again another developing story that is currently unfolding in front of our eyes. College football is yet to start, and if you've been keeping up with this situation as much as me, you've been watching videos, you know this. This entire conference realignment crap that's going on, it's absolutely ridiculous. And don't get me wrong, I love it. I'm all here for it. I want to see all these conferences get new teams because just like with anybody, or I think most people out here, I like seeing these top dogs play other top dogs. I'm looking forward to Alabama and Georgia playing teams like Oklahoma and Texas. I'm looking forward to USC traveling all the way from sunny 75 California to Michigan where they're going to be playing when it's going to be like, what, 5 degrees and snowing. The only people that don't like this, and believe it or not, there are some people that aren't fond of all this, is the older people. And when I say older people, I'd say some people around their late 50s, 60s, 70s, and after that. And I do understand their argument because everybody's saying, oh, well, this is ridiculous. How is USC a part of the Big Ten? It takes away from the, what's the word I'm looking for? I guess you'd say tradition. We're so used to the Power 5 conferences, they haven't changed in a very long time. But I myself, not only do I want change, but I think you need it. You need to refresh your brand every so often. You got to do it in business, you got to do it in life, and you especially got to do it in sports. And by the way, sports and business goes hand in hand because colleges out there and universities, and this is a different conversation for a different day, but it's one of the best businesses out there. And it's funny I bring that up because I didn't even plan on going down this rabbit hole, but all of this, these teams leaving conferences, going to a new one, you know what it comes down to, right? Money. That's it. That is the only factor. Money. Money runs the world. And whenever you figure that out, your perspective on everything, it'll change. You'll look at everything differently. But getting on track here with today's video and what we're about to talk about, we're not here to talk about this Pac-12 mess and the Big 12 mess, what's going on there. We're here to talk about the ACC and the Big Ten. And oh yeah, by the way, we're not doing no intro, none of that. We're getting straight into it. You like the content, consider joining our amazing community. By the way, shout out to everybody that's already subscribed or recently joined the channel, or even the OGs. Thank you so much. But yeah, if you like the content, consider subscribing. If you don't like it, don't subscribe. Like I said, though, we're going to talk about the ACC, and word around the block is Florida State, yes, the Cinnamon Rolls, and Clemson, the Tigers, they're going to the Big Ten. Let me actually pull it up so I can read you what it actually states. And by the way, I've been following the situation very closely. These rumors have been going on the past couple of days, but I've just waited to make this video because I want to see some more people report on this to confirm this. One of the first things stated on this was on one of these message boards, somebody stated Clemson/FSU to the Big Ten. And Sonny Babe, a gold member, stated, per a friend who is connected, announcement on Tuesday. And this caught everybody off guard because everybody's like, whoa, what's going on here? Clemson and FSU to the Big Ten? This is out of nowhere. I thought the talk of the town was what's going on with the Pac-12 and the Big 12. Before this right here, what you're looking at, there was absolutely no rumors about this even happening. Because remember, according to the Big Ten, this isn't a rumor, they've come out and stated this, they weren't even opening up doors for Oregon and Washington because they felt like they had enough teams with UCLA and USC. They were like, hey, we're good for now. We don't want any more teams. But then, out of nowhere, you're hearing some people saying, hey, I think Clemson and FSU, they're going to the Big Ten. It's interesting to say the least. Whoa, hold your horses, partner. Hold on. I already know what everybody's about to say. Matt, this is off of a message board. How can you even be talking about this? Why are you even bringing it up? And you're right, but I'm just a messenger. Do what you please with this information. But check out this reply in the comment section that got over 20 likes. Telling y'all, many of these MBG tweets, hey, that's my name. But anyways, over the years, with message board predictions have actually been right. Interesting. What do y'all think about that? I'm not going to lie to y'all. Do I, myself, Matt B. Great, the real MBG, by the way, I need to copyright that, believe this just off of this random message board? No. I don't even want to throw this in a video because I think it's pointless. I don't believe anything anyone says on a message board. Granted, I'm not saying they're wrong. Me personally, just don't believe it. I need to see a little more. And that's what I did. Like I stated, this message I'm showing you right here was on the 29th. It's currently the 31st. But then, guess what? One of my very reliable sources yesterday tweeted out this. Breaking. Here's an update on FSU. As we're now hearing, it will be a negotiated buyout of the contract down to $300 million, but paid in installments of close to $30 million annually. The Noles will get roughly double that from the Big Ten or the SEC each year, though. That right there really caught my attention, and I know some of you probably have no idea what he's saying, and you really don't need to. All you need to know is that FSU's trying to get out of the ACC. They won't out. Here's the real question, and it's the same thing for Clemson and FSU. They've made this evidently clear. How badly do they want out? It's kind of like when you're in one of those relationships in high school, and we've all been there, where you're dating a girl, and yeah, you don't really love her, or you don't really like her that much, but you don't like her or you don't dislike her bad enough to leave her. You see what I'm saying? It's kind of like, yeah, she's not my dream girl, but it's cool to have a companion. You see what I'm saying? I've definitely done my fair share of just talking to chicks that were highly interested in me, and I just didn't care, but I just let them on because, yeah, I really don't know why. I guess you just chalk that up to me being a player or whatever you like to call it. But my point is, and where I was trying to go with this, is I don't know how bad FSU and Clemson want out, because I don't think they want out as bad as Oregon and Washington want out of the Pac-12. I'll put it this way. On a scale of 1 to 10, 10 you need out ASAP, 1 you could care less. I think FSU and Clemson, they're like a 4. I think they're kind of content, but if there's a offer to go to the SEC or the Big Ten, they definitely take it. They're definitely going to look at them. So that is where we stand. And then this was one of the groundbreaking tweets. It's currently got right at or close to 1 million views. I've had multiple people send me this. I don't know who this is, but I went to his Twitter, and he works for Barstool Sports. Do what you want with that information as well. I'll leave it at this. I think Barstool Sports is a joke, and everything they post is for clicks and views. I'm not saying this dude Jack McGuire is some liar, but no, he's not one of my credible sources. If you want to believe him, that's up to you, but I'm telling you straight up, I have a lot of great sources that have been great over my many years, and this is not one of them. I don't know this guy personally, so no, I'm not going to vouch for him. I'm not saying he's bad. I'm not saying he's good. Just saying I don't know him. I don't have an opinion. He tweeted out, Scoop City has received a serious rumor that the Big Ten will add Washington, Oregon, FSU, and Clemson this week. Before we go any farther, here's my immediate reaction to this when I saw it. I think it's complete horse crap. I think it's another Barstool employee just wanting clicks and views. Like I've stated before, that's a reputation, and it hasn't changed in my eyes. In my humble opinion, from the very credible sources I've talked to who do nothing but keep up with this college football crap, if anything, the Big Ten's only adding 2 schools. I'll put it this way. Let's compare them. Greg Swain here, which right here you see is the Swain Show. Great guy. He has got a great show and whatnot. He provides details. And if you like to keep up with this stuff on Twitter, this is how you can really find out who knows what they're talking about and who's just tweeting to tweet random stuff and get views. We'll just use this tweet, for example. Notice how he broke down, hey, here's what's happening with FSU. They're trying to negotiate this contract, and they got it down to $300 million, and they're going to get $30 million every single year. And then notice this tweet, Scoop City. What credible source starts out a tweet by saying Scoop City? It just sounds like it's dumb. And then on top of that, there's nothing to back it up. Just, hey, there's a serious rumor that these schools are going to join the conference. Notice how this tweet right here doesn't even provide details or anything, or even provide you why they believe that. Going back to this, some of you are going to remember months ago when I broke the news. This was 3 months ago. I told you guys Colorado is leaving the Pac-12. Who was my number one source? Greg Swain here. Why was he my number one source? Because he told me and he broke it down why Colorado wanted to leave. They wanted out because of the Pac-12 deal. It was awful. They wanted a new deal. My point is, for this tweet right here, if he would have said, hey, these 4 teams want out because they don't like how much money they're making and they want to make more money and be on TV more, it'd make a little more sense and I might believe it. But the fact you're just sitting up here like some random Twitter account going, oh yeah, there's a rumor these teams are leaving. No, I can't buy that. I can't feed my audience that BS. I don't believe this tweet a single bit. So we'll go back to my number one source here, Greg Swain. Somebody asked him in the comment section, interesting. That's still a lot of money. Do you think FSU would want the Big Ten or the SEC? And he replied, and he's right on this, the SEC, but the Big Ten will pay more. Another great comment. I assume this guy saw that one post that was going viral. What about Clemson? I've heard rumors Oregon and Washington on the cheap is part of paying FSU leaving. He replied, Clemson and everyone else wanting out will have to pay the same, and few, if any, can. He's right. He's 100% right. Now, let me dumb this down for the people that are kind of lost because I know this stuff can be overwhelming and confusing. What is going on is FSU and Clemson, they are negotiating with the ACC to buy out their contracts. And to buy it out, it's going to cost $300 million, in which, let's just say Florida State, we'll just use them, but Clemson's doing the same thing. Florida State's saying, okay, we're not going to give you $300 million straight up, but we'll give you $30 million a year. That's a lot of money, and most schools out here can't even afford to do that outside of Florida State and Clemson. And $30 million a year just to leave a conference, it's a lot, but like it says right here, the SEC or the Big Ten is going to give them double that. So let's do some simple math with Matt. Yeah, you're going to lose $30 million a year. Okay, so you're negative 30 in the hole. But the SEC or the Big Ten, no matter where they go, is going to give you $60 million. So pretty much you're going to profit $30 million. But here's the biggest part about all of this. If you don't leave the ACC and you don't break your contract, you don't have to go $30 million in the hole. So let's just say, I can't remember what it was. I think the ACC is paying these schools like 42 to 45, maybe 50 million. Yeah, you're not going to make as much as the SEC and Big Ten schools, but you're still going to make more if you were to leave the conference. Did I word that right? Maybe I confused y'all. Let me dumb this down. If Florida State stays and Clemson stay, they're going to make about $45 million a year in the ACC. Whereas if you leave, you're not going to make that because you got to pay out a $30 million buyout per year. So that's that. But going back to this, though, apparently it's going to be announced on Tuesday that Clemson and FSU are going to the Big Ten. Today is Monday. I guess we'll find out within the next 24 hours if this is true or not. Before we end out this video, I'm going to ask you guys a question, and I'm going to answer this question as well. If you was calling the shots for Clemson or FSU, what would you do? Me personally, and this is just me, I would try to leave the conference. I think the ACC is heading downhill. The competition's whack. It's terrible. It's one of the worst Power 5 conferences in the country now. And the Big Ten and SEC are not slowing down. If anything, they're just going to get bigger and better. And yes, it may be expensive to leave the ACC, but I think with the SEC and the Big Ten, their stock is going to continue to rise. Whereas with the ACC, it's just going to continue to go down. I'd leave, I'd pay the buyout, because if you can get in the Big Ten, trust me, you'll make that money back. And long-term wise, just being in the Big Ten, it's going to help out the brand tremendously. That's just my opinion. And it also comes down to this. I don't see any benefits of staying in the ACC. Nobody cares about the ACC. It's a trash conference. But guess what? Everybody cares about the Big Ten and the SEC. And I mean that in the most disrespectful way possible. If you're an ACC fan, your conference is doo-doo cheeks. It's trash. You are trash. And even from an entertainment standpoint, there's nothing even to watch. It's terrible. Outside of Clemson and Florida State, who are you watching in the ACC? Nobody. Oh, well, we got North Carolina, Matt. What? North Carolina's mid. I know it was a lot, but I'm curious. Let me know your thoughts down below. But roll with it.